Just about 45 minutes away from Kansas City's Union Station, we have a Western Conference matchup in MLS Next Pro tonight as match week 13 rolls along. For the third time this season, it is Sporting Kansas City 2 and Houston Dynamo 2. Beautiful night at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence. Justin Galanti, our entire outstanding crew, so glad to be with you. As we said, even early in June, it is already the third meeting between Kansas City and Houston. Kansas City have been able to pick up all 6 points in the first 2 meetings. Houston will look to return the favor with some road success tonight. Dynamo Dos looking to move up the Western Conference standings. It's been a bit of a good run lately as compared to the start of the year, but still sitting in a tie for 12th in the Western Conference. Quite a bit of work for Houston to do. Meanwhile, Kansas City sitting pretty in 5th place right now and a chance to move all the way up to 3rd if they're able to earn 3 points tonight against Houston. Let's take a look at our starting 11s. Benny Feilhaber, the head coach in his 3rd season for Sporting KC2, has Ryan Sheway in goal, the reigning Big East goalkeeper of the year at Georgetown. Visconti, Elisa, Rindov, and Clark in front of him. Swallen, Ortiz, Tashantret in the midfield. And watch out for Hadigan, Cruz, and Habibullah up top, who have combined for 13 goals this season. For Houston Dynamo 2, Dynamo Dos as they're referred to, Kenny Bundy the head coach. It is Nicholas DeFreitas Hansen making his 5th start of the year in goal. Sargent, Obando, Awodesu, and Mwakachuya. The defensive 4, Dos Santos, Rodriguez, Gonzalez in the midfield, and then it's Silla, Achara, and Reed up top for Houston. Some rain in the forecast tonight in Lawrence. We are hoping that stays away. Our head referee tonight is Emma Richards, and we are just about set to go. Houston in the road orange kits, and it's the baby blue at home for Sporting Kansas City 2. Just under 80 degrees as we await the go-ahead and the opening whistle. Sporting Kansas City 2, Houston Dynamo 2 for the 3rd time this year, and we are underway. So glad you could be with us on this Friday night. Houston coming off a 1-1 tie last week at Portland and then dropped the chance for the extra point in the shootout. But Houston's been on a good run of late comparatively to the start of the season when they began this year 0-4-0, 0 points in their first 4 matches. But coming into tonight, 10 points. All their points this year have come in the last 6, and they've earned points in 5 of the last 6 matches, as we have a foul here against Kansas City as Usman Silla was knocked down to the turf. SKC2 has been good all season, and a big reason why tied for 1st in the league in goals at 26 with Philadelphia Union 2, which were shut out last night at home by FC Cincinnati 2. Sporting KC in its last match. Bit of a wild 4-3 win on the road at Minnesota. They conceded a goal on a penalty kick in the 86th minute, but bounced right back. And Sebastian Cruz scored one of his 2 goals that night, a minute into stoppage time, to earn SKC2 the full 3 points, something Benny Feilhaber, I should say, was very proud of with his group. They've dropped a couple of points in the final minutes of matches this year, so to be able to go from what looked like 3 points, then looked like 1 point, back to a full 3 points was really big for them. Kansas City moving forward on an early attack. Play broken up, though, by Houston, and Silla looks to move out of trouble with it. SKC2 has had a lot of good results this year, but Coach Feilhaber feels the performances have even been better than the results. Natty Clark tries to cross this one to the back post. Habibullah Runs it down in the corner, keeps the ball in play. Ahead with it, this is Jacob Swallen. Tries to send it into the middle. It's broken up by Awodesu and cleared away. A race for it here. It's run by Harris Alisa, the 19-year-old defender making his third start of the season for SKC2. Each of the last two seasons, Houston really handled Kansas City. So this year's been a flip of the script, with Kansas City earning all 6 points in the first two meetings. And it was two very different matches that these two sides played against one another. The first was the season opener. On March 17th, Houston led that match 1-0 until very late. Here's Silla ahead with it. Usman Silla gets to his left foot, took a little contact, he's tripped up, and he's awarded a penalty. Ryan Sheway, the goalkeeper, made contact with Silla, and he earns the penalty kick in the 4th minute. Silla, the reigning Mac Herman Trophy Award winner out of Clemson, showing his skill. Avoided a couple defenders, and then as Sheway went into the dive, he made a lot of contact with the legs, and a big opportunity here for Houston. Silla with 1 goal this season, came against Salt Lake a couple of weeks ago. A chance for his second professional goal here. Will challenge Ryan Sheway, the 22-year-old keeper, making his 9th start of the season. Usman Silla, he scores! And an early 1-0 advantage for Houston. Silla on a PK with his 2nd of the season. And Houston strikes first here in Lawrence. Certainly a far cry from the last time that Kansas City and Houston played. That was a 4-0 final in favor of Kansas City on April 14th. Kansas City had the 29-7 shots advantage, 11-2 on goal in that match. After the first one of the year was a 2-1 final, when Kansas City scored twice in the final 10 minutes to overcome a 1-0 deficit and earn 3 points down in Texas. A good start tonight for Houston on the road. Contact there and a foul in the middle of the field going against Houston's number 14, Jefferson Medina Obando. And Kansas City will restart things. Benny Feilhaber told us he'd like his team to play a little better at home. I mean, they are unbeaten on the road this year, 3-0-2, just 3-3-0 on their home pitch at Rock Chalk Park. Matty Clark wins the throw for Kansas City. But Coach Feilhaber did point out they have won 2 of 3 at home, so feeling a little better about the way they've played here in Lawrence, and hoping they can make it 3 of 4 tonight. A pass a bit long for Mason Visconti to run down, so it will be a Houston throw. Kenny Bundy, a longtime member of this Houston Dynamo organization. He's been in it since 2016. He's been the head coach of Dynamo Dos each of the last 3 seasons. And of course, for a short time, was the interim head coach of the first team in Houston back during the 2022 campaign. Here's Natty Clark, the 19-year-old. To Shantret, couldn't settle that ball down, and it comes all the way back for Chris Rindov, the SKC2 captain. First team player that has played a lot of minutes and is referred to by many of his teammates as the leader and completely integral to what they do. Jacob Swallen moving forward for Cameron Habibullah. Leader in goals on this team was 7. Sends it out wide. Natty Clark back to the middle with it. Good build up here from Kansas City. Clark with a cross to the middle, and falling on it is Nicholas DeFreitas Hansen. 22-year-old goalkeeper making his 5th start of the year. Was acquired from his time in England back in February of this year. First season in the Houston organization. He and Xavier Valdez have split time in goal for Houston this season. Nearly 8 minutes gone by in our first half, and Usman Silla's PK in the 5th minute has Houston on top of Kansas City 1-0. Very unusual to see a team 3 times already in a season, but just a quirk of the scheduling, and these two teams will not play again unless they meet in the playoffs. Houston has been in the Western Conference in each of the last 2 years and been thwarted by Tacoma in both of the first 2 seasons of MLS Next Pro. Last year, Houston was the 7 seed, lost 4-3 at Tacoma in the Western Conference quarterfinals. And in 2022, Houston was the 3 seed and lost in PKs to Tacoma in the Western Conference semifinals. Sporting Kansas City to miss the playoffs in 2022, but last year was the 3 seed, but succumbed 2-0 at home to Austin in the Western quarters. Austin, of course, the eventual champion in MLS Next Pro. There's Sebastian Cruz, good pass ahead. Cross towards the back post, headed by Sargent, and then it's back in and taken by DeFreitas Hansen. Sebastian Cruz, who we mentioned, had 2 goals and an assist last time out in the 4-3 win for Kansas City against Minnesota. He is the reigning player of the match week in MLS Next Pro. Houston on the attack once again. Good first touch there, and it will be a corner coming for Houston. Good run down the pitch there by Achara, the 26-year-old. Big redemption story for him, coming back from an injury that cost him all of last season. Former first-round pick back in 2020 out of Georgetown by Toronto. So first corner of the night belongs to Houston. Dynamo Dos already ahead a goal. High ball bending away from the target. It looked like Natty Clark took the boot up high from Achara. A foul against Achara, called by Emma Richards. Kansas City, such a dangerous team offensively. Again, tied for first in the league in scoring, 26 goals this year through the first 11 matches, and a lot of that comes from Habibullah and Avila. 13 goals between the 2 of them. 7 for Cam Habibullah and 6 for Avila, both players that are new to the organization. Avila spending last year with Dynamo Dos as well as Charleston Battery when he was loaned out to the USL Championship side. And Habibullah spent last year in Vancouver. Played 18 matches with Whitecaps too, scored 4 goals, had 3 assists, already has surpassed both of those totals this season. Nicholas Hattigan couldn't quite connect there with Natty Clark. Hattigan, another new member of the Kansas City organization, played with San Jose's MLS Next Pro team last season, referred to as Earthquakes 2 last year, and the Town FC this season. Clark couldn't quite direct that ball the way he wanted to, so it goes off for a Houston throw. Kieran Sargent will take it. Signed as a homegrown player by Houston back in January after playing 3 seasons at Georgetown. Previously was in the Houston Academy. Playing against his former college teammate tonight, Ryan Sheway, the starting goalkeeper for SKC2. This one of two matches going on right now around MLS Next Pro, the other being Chicago and Chattanooga, which are level, 0-0 early on. Three matches last night, Columbus beating New England, Cincinnati 2-0 over Philadelphia, and St. Louis 1-0 over Tacoma. Two other matches later tonight, one match tomorrow, and then a full slate on Sunday. This is Hattigan cutting back to the middle. Hattigan with a little bit of space, rips it just wide. Good opportunity for Nicholas Hattigan, making a bid for his first goal this season. Just couldn't quite put it on frame. Hattigan with the little fake there was able to get around Medina Obando, but moving left, shooting back right, couldn't quite test DeFreitas Hansen. Good individual effort, though, by the 23-year-old. Fans, this portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Central Bank, official jersey front partner of SKC2 and community banking partner of Sporting KC. 14th minute at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas, on the campus of the University of Kansas. A 1-0 lead for Houston on Usman Silla's PK goal early on in the 5th minute. Here is Sargent. A goal this season came against North Texas. That was the turning point, really, for Houston on April 28th. Despite only earning 1 point that night on the road against North Texas, it was a 2-2 tie. Then the shootout went NTX's way. But that's the top team in the Western Conference, and it started a good stretch for Houston after dropping those first 4 matches of the season. If they can earn points tonight, Houston will extend a streak of points in what would be 6 out of 7. Habibullah sends it in towards the back post, but no one there for it. And Hattigan raises the arm, perhaps indicating he should have continued making his run there. Shots are 1-1 early on tonight, and the only one on target, of course, came from Houston. Dynamo Dos would love to be a little more dangerous as this season goes along in terms of scoring. Entering tonight, 13 goals this season through 10 matches, so a little bit more than 1 per night, which is 25th out of the 29 teams in the league. Middle of the pack in goals conceded, tied for 16th, 18 allowed. Meanwhile, Kansas City, great offensively, tied for first in the league in scoring, tied for 19th in goals conceded. So Benny Feilhaber love his team to tighten up a bit on that end of the pitch. Habibullah misses just high. 7 goals already this season for Cameron Habibullah, including a pair of hat tricks already. Could see an appeal for perhaps a handball here that Kansas City were asking for. Actually, Houston were asking for, but either way, no harm, no foul, as it'll be a goal kick for DeFreitas Hansen. Anyway, Habibullah had a hat trick against Minnesota back in a 4-1 win on April 28th, and a hat trick against Colorado in a 5-3 win on April 7th. No surprise that Cameron Habibullah was named MLS Next Pro's Player of the Month in April. This will go off for a throw for Kansas City. Sebastian Cruz and Cameron Habibullah perhaps As dangerous a duo as you'll see around MLS Next Pro. Habibulah's been active early, have not called Cruz's name much yet. Sargent played it back to DeFreitas Hansen, who had to come well off his line, and just clears it over the sideline. It'll be a KC throw. Natty Clark will take it. Third season playing in this league for Natty Clark. 41st career match in MLS Next Pro for 33 in the baby blue. To Shantret over for Habibullah. Chips it ahead. Chance here for Kansas City. Johan Ortiz back to the middle. Habibullah finds Cruz, and he hit it off the post. What an opportunity for Sebastian Cruz. He was waiting to see if that ball would curl too far outside the frame, and it just barely did. You could tell he didn't get all of it based on the reaction here. And Cruz just barely misses an equalizer. Give credit to Kieran Sargent from Houston for putting a little bit of pressure on and forcing the shot just wide of the target. So we remain at 1-0 in the 19th minute. Kansas City starting to build up some opportunities though. Sebastian Cruz once again back to the middle, bit out of the reach though of Ortiz, who will settle it back. To Shantret, the 18-year-old. Be playing his college soccer at Penn in a couple months. Nick Hadigan back to the middle, and a heavy first touch there leads to DeFreitas Hansen falling on top. Visconti came cutting in there and didn't quite have the weight on that ball that he wanted. Mason Visconti, former SKC Academy member, then went off to play 5 years at college soccer, one at Clemson, 4 at Kentucky, and then signed with SKC 2 at the beginning of 2024. 3 shots now for Kansas City tonight. Still just the one for Houston. They really haven't done much offensively since the individual effort by Silla that earned the penalty call in the box, and then he converted, of course, on the PK. It's more of a balanced scoring team for Houston this season. Nobody with more than 3 goals entering the night. Silla, by the way, has 4 assists this season, which leads the team, and now 2 goals to go with it. Sargent back for Josue Souza dos Santos, playing on loan from club in Brazil. Was just acquired a couple weeks ago on May 22nd, making his 4th appearance and 2nd start for Dynamo Dos. There's Rindove. Played his college soccer at Maryland, was the 37th pick in the 2023 MLS Super Draft. Foul here against Houston. Souza dos Santos, a little push in the back there on Nicholas Hadigan. Cruz couldn't settle it. It'll be a Houston throw. It's really interesting talking with Benny Feilhaber about the evolution of SKC2 over the last couple of years. He said, our goal in year 1 was really just to compete in every match. We didn't necessarily have the talent to be able to implement the coaching concepts that we wanted to. But last year we took it to another level, made the postseason, and it's even another step up this year. And what they're able to do in training and in matches from a coaching perspective is really leaps and bounds from what they had 2 years ago in the first season of the league. And it's a really special group, he believes. A bunch of guys that are really enjoying being around each other, willing to put in the work that maybe some other teams aren't. They enjoy the difficult conversations of what can we do as a unit to get better, and then individually to get better to make the team as good as possible. Silla was able to keep that ball in. Cutting back to his right foot, trying to spin away from Rindove. Lays it off for Sargent now. Poked away from him, good defensive challenge, and then Rindove commits the foul. Just about at the midway point of half number one here in Lawrence, Kansas. Another look at that last challenge from Rindove on Sargent. First one was clean, second one not so much. Good call there by Emma Richards. So a free kick coming for Houston, which have had all the set pieces tonight. Sousa dos Santos to take it. Ryan Sheway has not had much to do since the PK back in the 5th minute. It's a good ball, but Sheway has it. Ryan Sheway, first-round pick by Kansas City in the most recent MLS Super Draft. Starts the break the other way for Hobby Bula, but that pass ends up back with Houston. Sheway played 4 years at Georgetown, and he was the Big East Goalkeeper of the Year in 2023 after being a second-team All-Conference selection in 2022. Had to wait his turn, didn't really play his first 2 seasons, but each of the last 2 is about as good as anybody in that conference. Kieran Sargent. Across the 24-minute mark here in Lawrence. Remember Coach Feilhaber talking about how he wanted his team to play better at home, unbeaten on the road, just level at 3-3 at home. Trying to avenge, he said, some of the nightmares we have at Rock Chalk. This will be, is that a foul? A lot of contact, but no whistle, so just a goal kick it seems. Training staff will have to come on here. Kind of a dangerous looking play there with both players going after the ball full speed. This was deemed clean. A hard hit into the boards behind the end line there. Leads the training staff for Houston out onto the field for the first time tonight. Fans, this portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Children's Mercy Hospital of Kansas City, official healthcare partner of Sporting KC. And good to see Isaiah Reed back to his feet there. Seems to be all right. Reed, the 23-year-old, made his 4th start of this season tonight. Appeared in 20 matches last year for Dynamo Dos after signing after a 4-year career at Clemson. Now we have to get those boards fixed. Be a goal kick from Ryan Sheway when we restart. You can see the ponchos there of some of the support staff, so some of the rain starting to come down. Never a surprise in Lawrence that we get some precipitation. So Reed should come back on momentarily as we restart the 27th minute. Here's Jacob Swallen, player that has really stood out for Kansas City this year in his first year in the organization. Signed after a 5-year career at Wake Forest. One of them he missed with injury. Foul against Houston. 4 fouls committed by Dynamo Dose tonight. 3 infracted by Kansas City. And Isaiah Reed back on the pitch for Houston. Of course, a great sign. Johan Ortiz and Nicholas Hattigan stand over this. Actually, that is Swollen. Bounding ball comes into the wall and then trickles into the arms of DeFreitas Hansen. If you're just joining us, Houston 2-5-3 this season, 10 points on the year, and sitting in a tie for 12th in the Western Conference. Sporting Kansas City 20 points, 6-3-2 is the record. 5th place in the West, but with a win tonight would move all the way up to 3rd, at least at the end of the night, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of the results this weekend. The later matches tonight, New York City FC and Miami, Austin, Colorado, and then tomorrow Huntsville will play Crown Legacy in a full 5-match Sunday night. Kansas City on the attack again, and making the run there was Hattigan. Just couldn't quite get to that ball, and it will be a Houston throw. Outside of the goal, Kansas City have certainly been the more dangerous team tonight, but all that matters is the scoreboard, which currently favors Houston. SKC2 have earned at least a point in each of its last 3 matches. That's 7 of the last 8, dating back to April 7th. They started the year 1-2, but since then, 5-1-2. Harris Alisa for Habibullah. Cameron Habibullah trying to send this over the top. First touch from Sargent, and Reed is run over by Sebastian Cruz. This portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Price Chopper, official grocery partner of Sporting KC. Houston on the attack again, but a good play by Sheway to break up that cross from Reed. Benny Failhaber unhappy with something there. You can see having a conversation with his 4 on the back line. Chantret leaves it for Rindove. Chris Rindove, a great example, his coach said, for all the players on this team. Just a tireless player. His work rate off the charts. Sets a great example for the younger players. And Rindove's just 22 years old himself. Former first team All Big Ten selection at Maryland. Free kick coming here for SKC2 as we've crossed the half-hour mark. And now into the 32nd minute. Silos go on a PK back in the 5th minute. Still our only tally tonight. Houston gets the first touch on it, and then it's cleared away there. Kansas City able to get the ball back, though. To Chantret. Drops it back there for Hattigan. Here come Kansas City again. Sebastian Cruz places to the middle, an open man! And it's put away by Ortiz. Level at 1 in the 32nd. Felt like it had been building for a little bit. And Sebastian Cruz with a beautiful ball to Johan Ortiz. And the 17-year-old ties this match 1-1. So SKC2 with the response after conceding early. We are level, just over 2/3 of the way through our opening half. For Johan Ortiz, it's his first goal this season, had an assist back on March 24th against Ventura County. This is only his third appearance of the year for SKC2. And what a moment for the young academy product, scoring the goal there. So now we'll see how Houston responds. They had certainly been on the back foot since scoring early. And now in a level match, we'll see if the intensity picks up from Kenny Bundy's group. For SKC2, that was the 27th goal of the year for the group, which breaks a tie with Philadelphia Union 2 for the top scoring team in all of MLS Next Pro. Kieran Sargent in for Silla. Houston looking to move ahead. Over the top it comes. Couldn't quite be settled though by Achara, who was offside anyway. Shots now 4-1 in favor of Kansas City. Fans from June 16th to June 23rd will be the 2024 MLS Next Cup, where the best youth teams from all of the US and Canada will compete. Good ball. Cruz back to the middle, and it's just wide. Hadigan had the opportunity. It looked like that ball was deflected though. And it will be a corner coming for SKC2. Habibullah for Cruz, who will set up the last goal. And Hadigan had the opportunity here. Feels like Dynamo Dos is just trying to survive into half now. Jacob Swallen will take this. Benny Fehlhaber said Swallen has just been such a great example for his teammates on and off the field, quickly embracing what they want to do in Kansas City. Swallen with a low ball to the near post, bangs around a couple of times, and Houston comes away with it. Good play though to break up the rush, back the other way there by Ortiz. One in our match. The other contests going on right now out in Chicago, level 0-0 late in the first half between Chicago Fire 2 and Chattanooga. This is over the sideline, a throw coming for SKC2. Turning into wet conditions here at Rock Chalk Park, but a very entertaining match to this point. Third of the season between Kansas City and Houston. All 6 points thus far have gone the way of Kansas City. Habibullah tripped up in the middle of the field. They'll play the advantage and keep going forward. Opportunity for Kansas City. Clark tried to settle that ball. Habibullah back onto it. Cam Habibullah. And this will be a goal kick for DeFreitas Hansen. Neither goalkeeper with a save yet on the record. Shea making his 9th start of the year. DeFreitas Hansen his 5th. Here's Silla, the goal scorer for Houston. He couldn't quite make it through the defense, but he did draw a whistle, a bit of a late one. A free kick coming for Dynamo Dos. Silla created the PK earlier, and he creates this opportunity now for the visitors. Usman Silla, Mac Herman Trophy winner at Clemson this year, given to the best Division I men's college soccer player in the country. Diego Gonzalez, the Dynamo Dos captain, will take this. Gonzalez. Houston retains the ball here. Sebastian Rodriguez walled off. And it will be a goal kick coming. Well done defensively there by Swallow. A little more on Diego Gonzalez, the captain, now 21 years old for Dynamo Dos. Such an experienced player in this league. Tonight is his 48th MLS Next Pro appearance. 11th this season, 28 last year, and 19 in 2022. And he started every match he's appeared in each of the last 2 years for Houston. Here is Cam Habibullah to Shantret. Trying to get it across for Clark, but it never made it through. And now Houston back the other way. And this should be a card, I would think, our first booking of the night. And it is a yellow coming against SKC 2. Jacob Swallen is booked by Emma Richards. Just grabbed the jersey here of Silla to stop the advantage. See how much action we get in the final few minutes of this first half from Lawrence. Kieran Sargent. Houston have not had the better of possession tonight, but here very patient with the ball. Still looking for their first shot since the PK. And first shot in the run of play tonight, Dynamo Dos is. Get a free kick here. Medina Obando. Is it back to the middle here? Desu. And now they move forward. Sargent, good 1-2 game here with Silla. Kieran Sargent, cross comes in and it's just wide. What an opportunity for Houston. It'll be a corner coming as Sargent set that up beautifully. Great build up there for Dynamo Dos, and Isaiah Reed made the run. It didn't quite make it through to him. Play this one short. Quick restart. That's poked away by Habibullah. Well done by Cameron Habibullah. Now Natty Clark. Cruz flanks him to the right. Couldn't get a pass through though. Goals in the 5th and 32nd minutes tonight. Houston the first, and then Kansas City the equalizer. Kieran Sargent again. Tries to switch the field here. A bit too much weight on that ball. It'll be a throw for SKC2. Crowd at Rock Chalk Park supporting the home side here tonight. Players go down. It'll be a foul on Kansas City here. Harris Elisa, as well as Diego Gonzalez, ended up down on the pitch, but both up fairly quickly. And a free kick coming for Dynamo Dos. Justin Galante, our entire outstanding crew. So glad you're with us tonight here. Good Western Conference battle between Kansas City and Houston. Diego Gonzalez misses high. Good opportunity for the direct shot for Gonzalez. Couldn't quite get it up and around the wall and back on frame. First shot since the PK though for Houston in this match. First time in a while Shea has done anything. Sends this all the way down. It'll be 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half, as indicated by the fourth official. Turning into a soggy night in Lawrence, Kansas. Jason Visconti will take this throw. Remember the last time Kansas City and Houston played on this pitch, it was 4-0 in favor of KC. So tonight, clearly a better effort to this point for Houston. Level at 1 approaching the half. Last match, Houston took a red card against Kansas City very late in the first half, so played a man down the entirety of the second, and that allowed Kansas City to really dominate and put that 3 points in their back pocket. Here's Cameron Habibullah trying to get through a couple of defenders, but it was poked away from him by Gonzalez. Here's Sargent, patient on the ball. Perhaps one more move forward for Houston. 90 seconds away from 3 minutes gone in the stoppage time period, but offside here against Dynamo Dos. Reed couldn't quite hold his run. Rindove here for Tashantret. Ortiz the goal scorer. Shots are 6-3 in favor of SKC2. Both teams with one shot on target tonight. Swollen moving through the middle of the pitch. Perhaps numbers here for Kansas City. Back to the middle, and that is wide. The bending attempts from Ortiz, perhaps thinking about a first half brace. All of a sudden, space opened up here, and Ortiz figured why not. Freitas Hansen wasn't quite thrilled with the defensive work from the men in front of him there. Freitas Hansen sends this away. Comes all the way down to Sheway. And that is it for the first half. So Usman Silla with the goal in the 5th minute on the PK, answered by Johan Ortiz's goal in the 32nd minute. And Kansas City and Houston are level at 1 at the half. Coming up, Michelle Montaigne catches up with Carolina Core head coach Roy Lassiter.
Messi! Really, really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Fuerza. Al frente. Servicio. It's saved by Carlos Coronel. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Parte externa, va a definir Chicho.
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. I like this. Cream on cream. The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Halftime here at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. SKC2 Dynamo Dos level at 1-1. Now it's time for our weekly Coach's Corner as Michelle Montaigne talks with Carolina Core head coach Roy Lassiter.
Well, guys, I don't know how I got lucky enough to be sitting down with Roy Lassiter, but here we are in High Point, North Carolina, with the head coach of Carolina Core. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Coach, I would imagine you're pretty happy for me to be saying the words. We're here in High Point, North Carolina, after 9 straight away games to open your season. Can you try to put into perspective how challenging that actually is, playing 9 straight away?
Yeah, Michelle, it's been very, very challenging. It's, playing 9 away games. I don't think anybody in the country or anybody anywhere has probably played 9 straight. And I'm pretty sure somebody has, but it is extremely difficult, right? Not only not being able to sleep in your own bed, but having to travel and play at foreign stadiums and crowds against you, with the travel in between all of that. So it's been very hard, but the young men have learned a lot of lessons. I've gotten to know a lot of the players a little bit better and my staff a little bit better, just being on the road. But it's been some challenging things, but I've looked forward to that.
On the note of the home opener, there is so much excitement building, not only around the league or around the team, but the entire community. How have you personally felt that, the support from everyone here?
It's been tremendous. A lot of support. First and foremost, I'm super grateful to have the opportunity to coach this team, being around the top-notch professional staff that I have, and being able just to coach the young men that I have. I'm super privileged for that, and you know, just super excited to be honest with you, to have this moment. It's a historical moment. It's a moment that the club has been looking forward to for a year now, and they've worked really, really hard to dig into the community, to dig into organizations and companies and associations, to get the awareness and get our badge out there of who we are, that we're in town. And so we're really looking forward to that game.
I've been here for a matter of a couple hours, and I've already had encounters with people out in the community about how excited they are for you guys to be here playing at home. Are there any fun stories or anecdotes from your experience around town?
You know, we see bumper stickers all over the place. There's a lot of places I go, and people are already calling me coach, and I'm seriously feel very, very privileged because of that. And I know High Point is a small town, so everybody kind of knows everybody. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But it's been really, really good. Getting to know a lot of people that are in the community, people in the universities, and they got season tickets, and we'll be at the game. I'm on the flight coming home, and there's people that are already saying, you know, we already have our tickets already. So those kind of things are really, really nice to know, and know that we're going to have that 12th man coming up this weekend. So those are all good feelings.
Coach, I know you had some experience with the club in Houston as an assistant, so MLS Next Pro overall isn't brand new to you, but this club, this organization is all new. What's your experience been like? I know we're only a third of the way through this season, but how has it been different running the independent side of things?
Well, I think first and foremost, they've been open to asking questions. You know, what works here, what doesn't work here, things that are needed from the professional staff, stuff that is needed for players. We have a lot of young people that work in the organization that are always asking questions on how should I do this, how should I do that. So I'm really thankful for that, for allowing us as professionals and the professional staff that we have to give our input to them and to help them. We don't have all the answers, but we can have them according to our experiences. So I'm really, really glad that I'm able to interject that, and that has made things a little bit smoother. So, but things are going well.
All right, now you've been around a long time, from your days as a player to now coaching. How have you seen the MLS enterprise progress from back in your playing days to now coaching the developmental side of things?
Yeah, it's much more organized. It's much more organized. The interest from the community, the public, is greater. Obviously, we're getting much well-known players. So the organization is really, really growing. Now MLS can pick and choose which cities they want to branch out into. And now just having MLS Next Pro. I can only imagine if I was 16, 17 years old playing in MLS Next Pro, probably would have been a better soccer player. It would have been a better platform for me. I could see my path a little bit better. So I'm really happy for that. To be a part of that, to have been a part of the foundation that paved that way for players now being able to have Major League Soccer, but also have MLS Next Pro that they can develop in and get to that next level.
Imagining an even better Roy Lassiter is hard to do. But Coach, thank you so much for the time.
You're quite welcome.
dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. André. Servicio. It's saved by Carlos Corona. Con autoridad. El centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Parte externa, va a definir Chicho.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. Cream on cream? The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Getting set for the start of the second half here in Lawrence, Kansas. All knotted up at 1 between Houston and Kansas City after 45 minutes of play. Let's take a look back at the highlights from the first half here, and it started early. The highlights did. 5th minute here. It is Usman Silla working his way through the Kansas City defense, draws the penalty call due to the contact from Ryan Sheway, and then Silla's able to put home the PK and give Houston the 1-0 advantage. From that point on, it was really all Kansas City in the first half. Plenty of opportunities for SKC2, the top scoring team now in all of MLS Next Pro. You saw one there from Nicholas Hadigan. A little later on, this is going to be off the post on an opportunity for Sebastian Cruz that came through from Habibullah, as it has so many times this season. But finally, in the 32nd minute, the first goal of the season for Johan Ortiz, the 17-year-old academy product, equalized the match at 1-1. Kansas City continued to pressure forward, had some more chances late in the first half, even after tying the match. And this was another great opportunity that sailed just wide from Nicholas Hadigan. Stats in the first half favored SKC2. Shots were 7-3 for the home side, but each team only had one shot on target. And the only booking went against Kansas City as well. So as we get set for half number 2, we will see what we get here at a rainy, windy Rock Chalk Park. Elsewhere this weekend around MLS Next Pro, 3 matches went final last night, with Columbus, Cincinnati, and St. Louis all earning 3 points. Couple matches tonight, just one tomorrow night, Huntsville and Crown Legacy at 8 Eastern, and then 4 matches Sunday night, starting with New York Red Bulls 2 against Toronto FC 2, and concluding with LAFC 2 and Whitecaps FC 2 at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time. So, teams getting ready for the second half. Rain still coming down. And it looks like each team will make a sub. And we will get you those when they are announced. But it should be a fun next 45 minutes in the third and final meeting of the regular season between SKC2 and Dynamo Dos. Looks like Maddox Finley, 35, will be coming on for Houston. 17-year-old academy product who has 2 goals this season. And 89, Leo Cristiano, the young academy player for Kansas City, will enter as well. So those are the subs at halftime coming in. Sousa dos Santos does not start the second half for Houston. His night ends after 45 minutes. And it was Elisa that will not start the second half for Kansas City. Crowd certainly into it tonight at Rock Chalk Park, hoping that Kansas City can find at least one in this second half and pull out 3 more points. Houston hoping to continue a good run of form lately and make it points in consecutive matches, and 6 out of the last 7. Quick foul to start the half against Houston there. And once again, a couple players down. Medina Bondo for Houston, and it was Cruz there for Kansas City. So free kick coming for Kansas City in the opening moments here of half number 2. To Shantret. Now Hadigan. Trying to get that back to Visconti, and that is clearly over the sideline. And a throw for Kansas City. One thing Benny Feilhaber pointed out in our call this week was early in the season, we had matches where it looked like we'd get 3 points or it looked like we'd get 1 and then we'd end up with 1 or none. But over the last couple weeks, even in times where it felt like they might only get 1 point, they've been earning 3, SKC2 has. So we'll see what they can do in another tight match tonight in the second half. And those are the little things that make you a playoff team versus a non-playoff team at the end of the season, or a higher seed in the postseason than you otherwise would have been. Here's a great ball. Maddox Finley has an early chance. It'll just be a throw, though, out of it for Houston, thanks to a great recovery by Mason Visconti. Boy, this looked like it was going to be one-on-one between Finley and Sheway, but Visconti closed the gap and was able to stop the opportunity. Here comes Usman Silla. Drops this one off. Silla with the goal on the PK in the 5th minute for Houston tonight. And Sheway having to kind of avoid his own teammate, and Visconti there was able to grab that ball. A little bit of a tricky maneuver for 22-year-old Ryan Sheway. Justin Galanti, our entire outstanding crew here at MLS Next Pro. Glad you're with us at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence tonight. 1-1 between Houston and Kansas City, and the 3rd and final meeting of the regular season between these two. Remember, Houston was the better team for a couple minutes to start the first half, and then it was really all Kansas City the rest of the way. We'll see how the second half goes. Maddox Finley once again, 17-year-old making his 7th appearance of the season. Committed to play his college soccer at Portland this fall. Has 2 goals this year, one against St. Louis and one against Tacoma. Wakatuya. And now ahead with it, Ewudesu. Sheway likes to start action out of the back. We've seen him do that a couple times tonight. Good maneuver there by Visconti, hitting Habibullah. Madigan took a hard challenge there, but a clean one from Isaac Mwakatuya, 16-year-old who has started now 10 of the 11 matches for Houston this year. Houston had a late lead against Kansas City in the season opener. Conceded goals in the 82nd and 87th minutes to turn what looked like would be 3 points into none that night. Hoping for a better second half tonight against SKC2. A long run for this ball. Clark and Reed going after it. And the battle goes Reed's way. It'll be a throw for Houston. Hard foul there against Natty Clark, and he has shown a yellow. Clark was arguing that Reed grabbed his jersey, but instead the booking from Emma Richards goes against Natty Clark. Second yellow shown tonight against Kansas City. So a free kick coming for Houston. See if they can create anything off this set piece. This one curling and wide of the back post, and a goal kick coming for Sheway. For Houston, this starts a traveling stretch, 3 in a row and 5 out of 6 on the road. And on the Kansas City side, they will hit the road for 2 in a row and 4 out of 5 after this. And they played their last 2 on the road before tonight. I asked Benny Feilhaber about getting to play at home in the midst of all those road matches, and he said, don't underestimate the hour drive that we have from Kansas City to Lawrence at Rock Chalk Park. But still, he really enjoys the matches with the fan support at Rock Chalk and is hoping to give them a good performance tonight. Freitas Hansen handled that easily. 7 minutes gone in half number 2. We remain level 1-1. Fifth place team against the 12th place team in the Western Conference entering the night. Here's Hadigan. That was tipped and popped straight up. A contest for this one. Ortiz comes down with it. Habibullah. It's taken away by Houston. Dynamo Dos ahead. Reed, a good ball to the wide side. This is Achara. Back to the middle with it. Silla couldn't quite connect with Rodriguez there, and Kansas City able to win the ball. Now Cameron Habibullah, a player his coach said is completely committed to winning. Hadigan, cross to the middle, broken up. And a throw coming for Kansas City. Benny Feilhaber said Habibullah always makes the right play, whether that's creating a scoring chance for himself, a teammate, doing things on the other end of the pitch as well. Every single night, his only goal is 3 points for SKC2. Cruz out wide with it. Shot comes in and a save made by DeFreitas Hansen. First and best of the night for the 22-year-old Nicholas DeFreitas Hansen. Houston appealing for the handball there, didn't get the call. And eventually this opportunity for Kansas City's Johan Ortiz, who already has a goal tonight. First corner of the evening for SKC2. Dangerous ball, but Habibullah was offside. Fans, this portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Central Bank, official jersey front partner of SKC2 and community banking partner of Sporting KC. We'll bring this ball back at the direction of Emma Richards. And DeFreitas Hansen will do it again. Prior to joining the Houston organization, Nicholas DeFreitas Hansen was playing for the Atherton Collieries in England, but was sent to Houston in February of this calendar year. Leo Cristiano gets his first touch of the night here after coming on as a halftime sub. Poked away from him by Maddox Finley, though. Flag comes up for offside against Achara. Shots 8-4 in Kansas City's favor and 2-1 on goal. DeFreitas Hansen, rather vehement with his directions for his defense. Kansas City getting set to make a couple of subs at the next opportunity. This comes all the way down where Rindove will play it. Sheway lays it for Cristiano. Rindove. Danny Clark steps up, plays it ahead to Ortiz. That was last touched by Houston. And now we will get subs for Kansas City. Pau Vidal comes in for Hadigan. Vidal, a player who had 11 goals last season and 2 so far this year for SKC2. And then 38, Mayo Gumbale comes in for SKC2. And Jacob Swallen will sit for the rest of the night. Gumbale had started every match this year that he had appeared in, 10 of the 11 for Kansas City. Comes off the bench tonight, signed in March after a 5-year career at Indiana. And he gets his first touch quickly. Gumbale had it poked away, and it'll be a throw for Kansas City. Deep in the attacking third. Habibullah lays it to the middle. Pass behind Clark. Foul here against Kansas City. Fouls so far, 11 against SKC2. And the only 2 yellow cards given out tonight. 8 against Houston. Finley couldn't quite control that ball, but it was last off of Cruz, so a throw forthcoming for Dynamo Dose. We mentioned Kenny Bundy in his 3rd season, Benny Feilhaber in his 3rd season. Both have been with their respective groups for the entirety of the 3-year history of MLS Next Pro. Benny Feilhaber was the Coach of the Month in April in MLS Next Pro. Hoping his team can earn 3 points tonight and move a couple spots up the Western Conference table. He said we can look at the standings right now, be happy with where we are, but also feel like our best as a team is ahead of us. The yellow is going to be shown against Houston's Kieran Sargent here. First booking against Dynamo Dose tonight.
A yellow card caution is against the Houston number 3, Kieran Sargent, in the 60th minute.
Here's Gumbale trying to get a step on the defender and does, and wins the corner. So good work there by Gumbale, just coming on as a sub. It'll be a corner coming for SKC2. Corner coming. Ortiz sends it in. It's a good ball, but couldn't quite be directed on target by Cristiano. Comes back, though, to Shantret. Cameron Habibullah. Threat continues to Shantret. Shot was blocked. It'll be another corner for SKC2. Good build-up after the clearance there by Kansas City. Take another look at this opportunity, and looks like it might have hit Gumbale, his own player there. But either way, corner coming for Kansas City, 2nd consecutive. This one will be an in-swinging ball coming from Ortiz. It's a good one, cleared away. And a throw coming for KC. Continuing to push forward, looking for a go-ahead goal. Silla on the PK in the 5th minute with the Houston goal tonight. And then it was Ortiz from Cruz in the 32nd minute to equalize for Kansas City. For Ortiz's first goal, for Cruz's 5th assist. Mason Visconti back to the middle. Now Habibullah. Gumbale getting to his left foot, cross to the middle, and it's banged away, but it'll be another corner. Cameron Habibullah creating this for Gumbale. And then it was just a bit behind Natty Clark. So another corner. 5th of the night for SKC2. All of these corners have come in the 2nd half. This ball cleared, not quite definitively though. Well handled again by Houston, and now cleared back out towards midfield. Taken by Sheway. 64th minute. And we remain level at 1. Houston getting set for a substitution at the next window. Kansas City looking to make this a 4th consecutive match in which they earn at least a point. Last 3, 2-1 win over Colorado, 2-2 tie, dropped the extra point against Austin. And then the dramatic 4-3 win in Minnesota Sunday night. Houston, last match was on May 31st, a 1-1 tie at Portland, and dropped the extra point in that one. Looks like it is Omar Gray getting set to come on for Houston at the next chance. And it looks like a second sub as well, as Jordi Burbano is waiting near the 4th official as well. Freitas Hansen comes down towards Cristiano. And back for Sheway. Leo Cristiano to the near side. Visconti back towards the middle. And that was over the sideline. No, it wasn't. Kept in, but either way, Houston takes the ball. Weather has gotten better since the first half. Not much rain at the moment. Very comfortable night in Lawrence. You can hear the supporters making quite a bit of noise throughout this second half. Guzman Silla. This is a dangerous ball, but a bit out of Achara's run. Finley back to the middle for Achara. Gonzalez. Sargent forced back. Leaves it for Silla again. Wakatuya ahead. Maddox Finley now. Tried to split a couple of defenders. It was poked away, though, by Gumbale. And a Houston throw coming. Now we'll get the Dynamo dose subs for Kenny Bundy. It'll be Wakatuya and looks like Gray coming on for him. And then Reed will sit as well for Houston, and Burbano Angulo comes on. So some fresh legs for both sides. We approach the 70-minute mark. Good step by Natty Clark, at least slowed the play. This settled, and fanning on the shot there was Burbano Angulo. Now Finley to the middle. Good play to slow that down by Cristiano. Good bit of pressure here, though, for Houston. Silla. And cleared away by SKC2. Nobody in this league has more goals off transition than Kansas City. Houston has done a good job limiting those opportunities tonight. Here's Habibullah, clearly fouled. Substitution here for Kansas City. It is Ethan Bryant will come in and replace Johan Ortiz, who gets a well-deserved ovation scoring his first goal of the season earlier tonight. Ethan Bryant, a 22-year-old, making his 12th appearance of the season. Played in 27 matches last year for SKC2, scored 8 goals and had 3 assists. Was signed prior to last year after playing with the Richmond Kickers of USL League One. Habibullah a bit heavy on the initial touch. Houston trying to break back, but Rindov stepped onto it. Foul here. Or perhaps just out of bounds and a goal kick coming. Fans, this portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Children's Mercy Hospital of Kansas City, official healthcare partner of Sporting KC. We approach the 70-minute mark, still level at 1, which we have been since Kansas City's equalizing goal back in the 32nd minute. Bryant, good job to get the ball to Shantrak. Habibullah, poked away from him. Well done defensively by Houston. Usman Silla plays it to open space, and here comes Houston on the attack. Dynamo Dos looking to make something happen, comes back. Silla fakes once, fires and scores! A brace for Usman Silla. 2-1 Houston. The Matt Kerman Award winner from Clemson has his first professional brace. A PK earlier. Not far from the penalty spot here. And he beats Ryan Sheway in the 72nd minute and gives Houston a 1-goal lead for the second time tonight. SKC2 finds itself a goal behind for the second time in this match. They've been resilient this season, able to bounce back from allowing late goals to either earn ties or get 3 points. Here they have a little more than probably 18 minutes to work with. How rewarding would this be for Dynamo Dos after really getting beaten badly on this field in April? Playing a lot of that match with 10 men, losing 4-0. To earn 3 points on the road and continue what's been a good couple of weeks stretch after a very rough start to the season. First 4 matches, 0 points, 0-4-0. Last 6, 10 points, 2-1-3. Hoping to add 3 more to that. Here's Sheway. Kansas City, the highest scoring team in all of MLS Next Pro. So finding a goal in about 16 minutes, certainly not out of their realm. Habibullah had it poked away to Shantret. Now Visconti sends it in, handled by DeFreitas Hansen. This portion of tonight's match is brought to you by Price Chopper, official grocery partner of Sporting KC. Justin Galanti, our entire outstanding crew. Thrilled you're with us tonight at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. Bit of an upset perhaps brewing with Houston up 2-1. Here's Cruz up top with it. He was offside. And a whistle saves the moment for Houston. "75 minutes gone. If Houston were to earn the 3 points tonight, it would jump all the way from the tie for 12th into 10th place by themselves, at least for the moment, and would only be 2 points for the moment out of the cutoff line for the postseason. Now, it's likely too early to be talking about that, just early June. We still have a couple months left, but you always want to find yourself as close to, if not above, that cutoff line as possible. And for SKC, the odd struggles at home, at least for now, seem to continue. Unbeaten on the road this season, 3-0-2. But if Kansas City were to drop this match, they would fall to 3-4-0 at Rock Chalk Park. Here's Gumbale. To the middle with it. To Shantret. Clark settles it. Poked away though. And Houston back the other way. Awodesu, two-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year at Penn State, Awodesu was. Gumbale back to the middle. Tried to get it to Habibullah, who was deflected a couple times and never made it to him. Here's to Shantret. Visconti back to the middle. Ethan Bryant came on as a substitution a few minutes ago. Comes in, first touched by Gray, and cleared away from trouble by Maddox Finley. Kansas City sideline asking for the pace to be increased a bit. Trying to find an equalizing goal for the second time tonight. And that is behind to Shantret. Will go off for a Houston throw. Ten shots for Kansas City, 6 for Houston. And each side with 2 on goal. Remember, it wasn't long before Silla's second goal of the night when DeFreitas Hansen made that outstanding save on Johan Ortiz that kept the match level at 1-1 at the time. Ethan Bryant. Habibullah. And he was not quite able to keep that ball in bounds. It'll be a Houston throw. Entertaining match throughout tonight. Good chances on both sides in each half. Bryant commits the foul there and is shown a yellow. Sela a little slow to get up. Emma Richards still litigating things a bit. Third yellow there against a Kansas City player tonight. Just one on Houston. Now the issue being 2 balls on the field before we restart. Here's Finley. Under 10 minutes and then whatever stoppage time we might have. Omar Gray. Finley trying to send it on a run for Achara. Achara trying to get back to it. He was tripped up. He's appealing for a call that he won't get. Is settled down now by Pau Vidal, whose name we have not said much since he came on. Vidal, a very dangerous player again. 11 goals last season for SKC2. Vidal in the first meeting between Kansas City and Houston this year. And the eventual game-winning goal in the 87th minute. This will be another yellow card shown to Kansas City. Goes against Gumbali for this contact against Maddox Finley. Certainly awkward looking play there. Another sub for Kansas City. Mason Visconti comes off and Meji Alexandre enters the match. Played all the way down and handled there by Sheway. This would really be a big 3 points for Houston. It would be their 3rd win of the year, the others being against Salt Lake and St. Louis. It would be the highest quality victory this season, clearly, for Dynamo Dos, and would continue the momentum they've been playing with, really, since the end of April. Sub here for Houston. It'll be Stephen Anor coming on. And the night ends for Achara. Stephen Anor, the 1st-round pick of Houston in the most recent MLS Super Draft after one outstanding season at the University of Virginia, where he was the ACC Freshman of the Year. 2 goals, 1 assist in 10 matches with Dynamo Dos so far this season. Just 21 years old, turning pro after the 1 year in Charlottesville. Here's Sebastian Cruz. Finds Gumbale. Trying to make something happen, Kansas City. To Chantret. Out wide with it. Bounding ball in the middle, and that's cleared all the way down by Houston. And Clark slips and goes down, and this creates an opportunity for Houston. Urbano Angulo was knocked down, but it was a clean play by Clark. Good recovery. Remember, he was the one who slipped that created the chance for Urbano Angulo. Now it's Ethan Bryant. Ahead with it. Still Ethan Bryant. Still Ethan Bryant. And it's right into the outstretched arms of DeFreitas Hansen. And the player down for Houston is Omar Gray. So here was that opportunity for Bourbano Angulo. And Clark came all the way back and won the ball from him. On the other end, Ethan Bryant was searching for someone to give the ball to, eventually just took the shot himself. And an unfortunate break if you're a Kansas City fan, that deflection just popped up and went straight to the goalkeeper, DeFreitas Hansen, instead of over the end line for a corner. Here's Gumbali again. He shoots just wide. And I think that ball was tipped. It will be a corner. DeFreitas Hansen either didn't see this well or realized he would have had no chance had it been on target. Off the deflection because he never moved. What a chance that was for Gumbali. Here's Bryant. Dangerous ball. Bouncing around in front. A chance for Rindov. Gumbali equalizes! 2-2 in the 86th. Late minute magic again from Kansas City. Rindov was sticking with it. Eventually it falls to Gumbali. And for the second time tonight, SKC2 has tied the match. We told you 18 minutes was plenty of time for SKC2. So many late goals this season. And another one there, fourth of the season for Gumbali. Playing his first professional year after a 5-year career at Indiana. Second time this season he has scored against Houston. So now we'll see if Houston or Kansas City keeps the pressure up late, looking to earn 3 points instead of just 1 or 2. Cross comes in, Vidal ahead to it, what a stop! DeFreitas Hansen got the right arm up and just barely made enough contact to parry it off the bar. Look at this, Vidal using the height. And what a play by DeFreitas Hansen. A corner for SKC2. That answers the question about how aggressive they would be. Bryant to the near post, flicked on. Cruz gets to it first. Higher ball this time. Vidal ahead on it, but over the net. It's been an entertaining match throughout, but the fireworks continue to pick up in the waning moments. Sub for Houston here, Tate Lampman comes on. And he will replace Sila. So Lampman on for the final moments. And Sila with his brace tonight. A tremendous performance. DeFreitas Hansen handles this. Remember, for those who might be new to the league, should we end regulation time with the score level, Each team would earn a point, and we'd go to a kicks from the penalty mark shootout to determine who would get the extra point tonight. Houston has had 2 different 1-goal leads in this match. Kansas City has equalized both times. There's a 5th-minute goal, then a 32nd-minute equalizer, a 72nd-minute goal, and then an 86th-minute equalizer. Cruz and Habibullah each got bumped a bit, and the foul goes against Houston. Remember, in Kansas City's last match, Sebastian Cruz had the stoppage time stunner at Minnesota to earn Kansas City a full 3 that night. To Chantret to the middle. Another foul against Houston, a free kick coming from a dangerous area. 3 minutes of stoppage time as we remain level at 2. You wonder if this will be the best chance that either side has in stoppage time. Emma Richards will push Ethan Bryant back a few steps. Bryant. And DeFreitas Hansen punches it away. Foul against Houston. Cruz didn't want to be helped up there by Stephen Honor. He says, let's go. One minute of stoppage time gone. Rindove settles things. Bryant, a bit far from Gumbali, whose goal tied this match at 2 just over 5 minutes ago. Omar Gray makes the throw in. Vidal, a lot of contact with Gray. They play on. Ethan Bryant tripped up. A yellow will be shown to Diego Gonzalez, the Houston captain. And Kansas City wants to continue forward. Here's Cristiano. Cruz sends it in. Habibullah gets to it, wins the corner. Bryant will trot to the corner, and Kansas City will set up. Trying to find a winner in the waning moments. Ethan Bryant. First touch to Houston. Comes all the way through towards Alexandre. And it's taken back by Dynamo Dos. Stephen Honor. Sent all the way down. This will be a throw for Kansas City. Will they be allowed to make it? Natty Clark walks forward. Now Ethan Bryant. Perhaps one more advance. And there's the final whistle. So each team earns a point tonight as it's a 2-2 final. And we will have a shootout to determine who gets the 3rd and final point here this evening. Now let's learn a little bit more about this kicks from the penalty mark shootout in MLS Next Pro.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size.
The fit is cold. I'm ice creamy. You like that?
At the end of regulation, since the teams are tied on the scoreboard, the match will extend to a shootout, with each team having 5 attempts. If the teams are tied after 5 attempts, they will go to sudden death. The shootout winner will receive an extra point in the regular season standings.
So this is the point system in MLS Next Pro. If you win in regulation, you get 3 points. If you lose in regulation, you get none. If the score is tied at the end of regulation, each team gets 1 point. And then whoever wins this shootout will earn an extra point in the regular season standings. Still goes down as a tie in the record book, but the extra point can be so important at the end of the year. For Houston, it's now a second consecutive match, and 6 out of 7 in which they have earned at least a point. And for Kansas City, it'll be a 4th in a row and 8th in the last 9 in which a point goes their way. Let's take a look at how they got here in terms of the match tonight. 2 goals for Ousmane Sila for Houston. The first came off of this penalty that he drew in the 5th minute, and then he was able to convert on the PK, beating Ryan Shayway and giving Houston the early 1-0 advantage. Then in the 32nd minute, it was Johan Ortiz for SKC2, scoring his first goal of the season, assisted by Sebastian Cruz, and that made it 1-1. We remained level at 1 until the 72nd minute when Ousmane Sila completed a brace, the first of his professional career in his first professional season. That made it 2-1 Houston. But about 14 minutes later, off this corner, a bounding ball inside a very dangerous area, and Gumbali put it away for SKC2, and that made it level. And that's how we got here. So now the focus shifts to the goalkeepers, Ryan Shayway and Nicholas De Freitas Hansen. Shayway did not make a save in this match. De Freitas Hansen made 2 outstanding saves. SKC2 will shoot first, and it will be, it appears, Gumbali who had the equalizing goal. Gumbali, the 22-year-old from Indiana University. 4 goals on the season now, and hoping to get Kansas City off to a good start. Houston this year is 1-2, earning extra points in the shootout. Kansas City is 0-2, and one of those, it was a 10-9 shootout against Ventura County. Gumbali against De Freitas Hansen. And a well-taken penalty from Gumbali. Good start for SKC2. Diego Gonzalez, the Houston captain, against Ryan Shayway. Gonzalez, it is 1-1. Best of 5 here. And Diego Gonzalez ties it after 1 round. Now it'll be Ethan Bryant for SKC2. 1 goal this season for Bryant, 8 last season. 22-year-olds came on as a sub midway through the second half. Ethan Bryant delays and finishes. 2-1 Kansas City. Now here is Sebastian Rodriguez, the 16-year-old midfielder for Houston who was signed as a homegrown player in January of this year by the first team. Sebastian Rodriguez, he scores. Shea guessed right, couldn't get a hand to it. And it's 2-2. Always feels like the guess is more than half the battle, but it's obviously not all of it. Leo Cristiano came on as a sub for Kansas City. And Cristiano keeps SKC2 perfect in the shootout. 3-2. Starting to feel like one of these where it's going to take just one miss to decide who gets the extra point. Kieran Sargent, the 21-year-old from Georgetown. A homegrown signing in January for Houston. Save, Shea. Those are former college teammates, and Shea wins the Battle of Hoyas. Sargent waited, and Shea gives Kansas City the advantage. And now a big opportunity to back up that save for Cameron Habibullah, who's had just a wonderful year for SKC2. The MLS Next Pro Player of the Month in April. Had 2 hat tricks that month. Habibullah. And it is 4-2, and Kansas City is on the brink of the extra point. It is a must-score situation for Burbano Angulo here. Another late entry into this match. If he misses, Kansas City will walk out with 2 points tonight. We play on. Shea guessed right again, but it was a better taken penalty. For 3 Kansas City. And a conversion now from Pau Vidal would clinch the extra point. Pau Vidal had that great chance after the equalizer that DeFreitas Hansen stopped. Can he stop him again and keep this night going? Vidal, he scores just under the arm of DeFreitas Hansen, and Sporting Kansas City 2 wins the shootout and earns the 2nd point. Full time 2-2, and SKC wins the shootout 5-3 to earn a 2nd point tonight. Now, despite only earning 1 point tonight, the man of the match might come from the Houston side. Pau Vidal just barely able to beat DeFreitas Hansen to earn that second point for Kansas City. But with a brace in this match, Usman Silla from Houston is going to be our man of the match, presented by Adidas. The Mac Herman Trophy Award winner from last season at Clemson, given to the best college player in the country on the men's side, has the best performance of his professional career. Drew the penalty call, converted on the PK to put Houston ahead the first time, put him ahead for a second time, and completed a brace here in the second half. So Usman Silla is tonight's man of the match, presented by Adidas. That'll wrap things up for us from Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Justin Galanti. Once again, our final score is 2-2, and SKC2 gets the extra point in the shootout. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a great night, everyone.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.